Welcome back to another episode of The Money Mentor with Graham Home, and today we have some very, very special guests again. Welcome, good morning to Brendon and Abby. Hello, hello.
Morning.
Morning.
How are we? You look stressed.
I am stressed.
You're not in the headmaster's office. We're not in trouble.
And I'm shitting bricks.
Are ya?
I'm good.
Is that what that sound is? A
Yeah.
sphincter pucker. How are we?
Good.
Must say, you guys look fabulous.
Thanks.
Feeling
What's-
good.
You feeling good?
Feeling
Yeah,
good.
feeling really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's going on with the feeling good thing first?
Oh,
Seems we always talk about money.
Okay.
Let's talk about health, not wealth.
health. I know, we're in like day 400 and something of 75 hard. 400 and something hard.
Have you actually stopped?
No.
No, well, outside the challenges we kind of have, but
Yeah.
we've kept up with all the eating and the
Yeah.
exercise.
We dropped some key things. You drop,
I drop reading. I cannot handle the reading.
and
Right.
I drop the water.
So to give everyone some context, if they're not part of our community, Brendon Abs joined 2023
Yes.
in Infinity.
Yep.
And I'm actually, if you allow me to, I'm going to put a picture up in the edit of this for everyone
Oh
on
my gosh.
YouTube, which is you guys on the boat when
Oh,
we're
yeah.
all chatting at
Yep.
Real Estate Mastery. And you guys have lost a combined, how much now?
115.
115 kilos
Yes.
Yeah.
in a year and a half.
Mine's going on 2 years.
2 years, yep.
And Brendan's is.
Yeah, I kicked off on your first challenge of 1st of January last year.
Last year.
Yeah.
Okay, so just over a year now.
Yeah.
So in 2 years, Abby, how much have you lost?
50 kilos.
Fuck.
Just over.
That's
Yep.
wild.
I know.
Wild.
I know. I know.
Why do you look so bloody happy?
I know.
And Brendon, so you lost 50, 60 something,
60, yeah.
60 kilos in a year.
Yeah.
62.
Fuck. So, okay, so I've got no excuses. Right, back on it, G. Back on it,
But our
right.
goal was a kilo a week.
Yep, which is
And-
very sustainable.
And that was the plan.
Okay.
Yeah. That was the plan. It had to be sustainable.
Well, we'll have the photo up here in the edit for everyone on the YouTube version. If you're in the car, you need to at least come and check this photo out straight away. Because I remember Abby talking to Beck on the boat. Because I'm pretty sure it was my 40th, and I was right into it myself then maybe, or just for starting or finishing.
Yeah.
And I had abs when I came out of that one. I was like, yeah, you know, like, but I remember chatting, and I remember listening to you and Beck talking, and then I remember after the first couple of rounds, and when Brendon started, I remember messaging each other going, yeah, man, I get fucking shin splints, and I get, try these shit. And until you've been bigger, you can't really explain it to someone. People are like, oh, yeah, what's wrong with you? I'm like, dude, I fucking can't walk. I'm in agony. I'm crying. Like,
Yeah,
I was
it's
so
hard work.
heavy back then, right?
Yeah.
And unless you've been there, you don't understand,
No.
right? But it's good. Like, I know myself and you saw Troy, and there's a couple of people all in the community talking to each other, which helped.
Oh,
Like, oh, do this.
that was the biggest driver was the community.
He
Like,
needed
yeah.
that.
yeah, and that was
What helps when you're having a shit day and you're like, oh, fuck, I don't want a pie or a burger or something. You're
Yeah.
like, no. So for everyone tuning in, the guys have done 75 hard a couple of times now, as have I, but I then fall off the bandwagon. This is the first time I've actually stayed quite consistent with my current training and trainer, that 5 days a week I'm perfect.
Yep.
And then my events on the weekend, typically I blow out a little bit, but that's kept me still losing a bit of weight, and it's sort of become a lifestyle. Like, I need to exercise each day.
Yeah.
I
Well,
need
you
to
feel
move.
so much better for it.
And it
Yeah.
has to be a lifestyle. It
Yeah.
can't, and that's the biggest thing.
Well,
I think we had a lot of focus on, oh, we just need to lose weight. Oh, we just need to get healthy
Yeah,
or whatever.
temporarily.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
You go, oh, you know, we've got comfortable, whatever, and you just think you got to do it now.
So 115 kilos in 2 years and a year. There's huge outcomes. You obviously feel better.
Oh, yeah.
You look
New person.
healthy and happy.
Oh yeah.
So what was before we get your story and everything financially, what was the kicker for that to happen? What clicked 2 years ago for yourself, Abby, a year ago for you? What clicked to change to go,
Yeah.
I mean, obviously we come to fix our money, but what clicked on the health side of it?
For me,
Yeah,
it's probably different maybe to Brendan, but I had hit rock bottom.
right.
So my ankle was rubbish.
Yep.
I had a reconstruction in 2021, put on over 30 kilos.
Right.
I was on a knee scooter, had
Right.
three kids running around. And when I went to the first Tuesday, I just had hardware taken out of my foot and I was at rock bottom. I was thinking some of the worst things I've ever thought in all of my life in the July 2023.
Yep.
And we went on a holiday just after we'd found Infinity. We had it booked, and I was sitting at the top of in Mount Gambier, Sacred
the
Gardens,
Sunken Gardens,
what is Sunken Gardens. I had to sit at the top and watch my kids go down and enjoy life, and I had to sit at the top. Couldn't walk. I couldn't walk down the stairs.
Right.
I had a fully reconstructed ankle, and I was carrying 126 kilos on that ankle.
Right.
And then when we did the masterclass and we looked at, you do that forensic, what are we spending? What are we doing? And I looked and we were spending over $900 on convenience food.
So chockies, chippies, ice cream,
takeaway, restaurants,
yep,
all of it. And I was like, well, that's why we're not smashing our mortgage. That's why we're 100 and something kilos. I had to make a change.
Okay.
And that's what clicked for me.
So it was almost a double effect. It was the pain of not being able to walk down with the kids.
Yep.
As well as then the financial pain, which triggered, the physical pain is because of the financial pain, and the vice versa. Literally. They're interrelated. They're interlocked, right?
Yeah.
Which is why we do a lot of the challenges and give away so much money to help people go, hey, if they don't want to get fit and healthy, maybe they want money because they're here to fix their money. And I throw huge, like bigger than personal training, 30, 40, 10, like wild amounts of money up.
Yeah.
And people do have a crack, at least for the money, and then they become addicted.
This is the first time I'm actually having a crack for the money. But I'm looking at the photos on the community. I'm like, I am not in this at all. There are some, no, my gosh, some of them.
There's some awesome people out there.
Holy, they are so... You have the best community.
It's a pretty cool community, I will say that.
It is. And
you have to claim that.
You do.
Yeah.
And it has fostered so much growth
I seen
in us.
Who was it? Was it the Hunters? They did workouts in the backyard, no gym gear, absolutely fucking ripped, and working in mining. And I was like, wow,
Yeah.
some crazy stuff out there.
Yeah. Well,
Adam's crawling around on his back and needs spinal surgery, so he finished his day before they operated. I'm like, mate, calm down. Like,
and he's like walking around with a stick, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And like I'm on, I've done my ankle again, but I never realized previously I had all the excuses in the world. I was like, oh, I've hurt myself. Yep, I can't do that. I'm in such high pain. I can't work out. Yes, I can. I can do,
bike instead of walking.
Yeah, weight.
Yeah, just tailoring it to you.
Yeah, like Russian twists.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, I sweat, puff. My heart rate gets up so much more doing that.
Yep.
Even than the walking and that. So it was just excuses.
Okay. So lots of excuses and self-sabotage, really. Like,
Absolutely.
had surgery, can't do this, can't. So the kid pain, not being able to be mum and experience life, that would have hurt.
Yep.
And then very similar timing, the financial, which is then, okay, these things are related. Okay, so that was 2 years ago. Brendon, what triggered it for you a year or so ago?
Oh, I think it was probably before that. I was just that unhealthy. I was 178 kilos.
178.
Yeah, at the
So
Christmas party
at the
Dalton
Christmas
House.
party, is that you're 178 then?
Yeah, and that was really embarrassing for me. Like having to go and get a suit that no one really sold suits at small marquee size.
Yeah, I say double fat bastard.
But so that was a real wake up call for me. And then I had a bit of a health issue, and the ambos actually said to me, you're 2 kilos off not getting in an ambulance.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and that was, and I had the doctor telling me all the time I wasn't making it to 40. And
were you always that weight?
I've been big all my life.
Okay.
But just being a bad eater as well all my life too.
So big, like you're a big dude, like me, a big frame.
Yeah.
But always pretty heavy as well as big?
Yeah, I've always been heavy.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it was never a thought process or?
No, it was normal for me.
Okay.
It's just, I love my food.
Yeah.
And, still
same.
do, but now I love smaller quantities. But so it was probably the doctors telling me over and over again.
Yeah.
But then I watched Ab start, and I was watching Ab getting results, and I was like, I'm going to do this. And then when you put your first challenge up for last year, I was like, yeah, this is good timing. Let's have a crack.
Okay.
And I failed the first challenge.
How far did you get in?
I wasn't very far.
It was like 3 days.
Yeah.
But do you know what I was really proud of?
Yeah.
He started again the next day.
Yeah.
And he stuffed up, but he still did all of the other tasks of 60 strong.
Yeah.
And he has never...
So you failed a few days in, but you woke up the next day and continued on with the philosophy.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you didn't give up.
No.
No.
You didn't quit.
No.
Okay, you
And that's
failed
been
that
probably-
particular challenge in those parameters, but you didn't fucking throw in the towel.
No.
No, and that was and I was seeing all this support from the community. Like, and I wasn't much of a social media poster, and then
I think a lot of people aren't, but in that group they are.
Oh,
and by the
aren't
way,
we?
those who are tuning in, it's a private group. Sorry, you can't see it.
Thank God.
We keep all our knicker shots.
Yeah, literally.
But we do. There's like financially, physically,
Yeah.
man. Like
yeah.
the share in that private Facebook group is wild sometimes.
It's
and then
huge,
there's sometimes some asshole stuff, and I get cranky too. But that's okay. They'll learn.
Yeah, sometimes we need to pull our heads in.
Yeah. But you're right.
Yeah,
The support's pretty full on. Like
It is.
people are being very open and honest and.
And like you said before, you reached out, and I was struggling one night, and I was actually at night shift, and when you messaged me that first time,
Yeah.
and when you messaged me and said, do this, and I've done this, and
Yeah.
it was huge. Like, that was a massive driver.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a weirdo like that. I send weird things to people.
Yeah, and it was at like 3 a.m. or something, 2 a.m. because he texted me and he's like, I was just about to go. He was about to break it.
Yeah.
But you'd text and said, mate, you can do it.
Yeah.
And you were talking about magnesium or something like that. So then,
Yeah.
we're
Yeah,
drowning in
one of my things
something.
I used to before bed,
Yeah.
osteo and all that. So they used to put all magnesium cream and stuff on
Yeah.
my feet and shins and put socks on and go to bed. Fuck, it used to do wonders for me.
Yeah.
Same as the type of shoes I had. Like I'm a big dude. It was Hoka's, New Balance, or Asics. I got a wide foot. Once I put my weight down, it spreads a couple.
Yep.
I'm not talking about money here. We'll get to that in a sec. But it's all life changing.
Well, I think you said to me, just stuff your budget, just go and buy a pair of shoes, decent shoes.
Yeah, I did. I did actually.
Yeah.
As I said, I went and
Just
did the
for this
whole
once. Yeah,
walk
yeah.
thing at Athlete's Foot, and they're like, "Man, you got a big foot, and it spreads like 3 centimeters." Because I went to a podiatrist and everything. It spreads like 3 centimeters at that weight when I stand. So I try shoes on, and sit down and then stand up a little bit. Go, oh yeah. But once you start walking or running and moving in them, it was a
Yep.
different story. So I never had my shoes right. Got my shoes right, I don't get shin splints anymore.
Yeah.
Well, so I was walking 2 5K walks a day.
Yeah.
And that's what I've maintained like all through last year.
Yeah.
And yes, I was going through shoes too. Like it was.
Yeah.
Oh.
But having good shoes made me keep going too.
Yeah.
And that was that.
Well, it
advice.
takes my back was cooked, my knees were cooked, my shins, and I was like, so it's all those little things. When I see people having a go, I'm like, I can kind of guess what you're going through because of my size back then. Like, I'm going to message these people. So there's a couple of guys, girls I've been. I was like, hey, try this, try. Don't know if
Yeah.
it helps, but it worked for me.
Yeah, and I definitely did.
And definitely did. The shoes thing was huge for me because I was like, oh, yeah, I'll go to the outlets and I'll, buy whatever I can buy. And I did that the first challenge and I was in agony.
Yeah,
Like, not just exercise, but also injury agony.
yeah.
And
Well, it all starts at the feet. And
it
works its
does,
way up.
yeah. And it's literally what you said. So now, at the start of all the other challenges, you've got all the newbies who go, hey, 75 harders who've done it before,
Yeah.
whatever. My first thing is shoes.
Yeah,
Invest in your feet.
Yeah.
So I've got my beautiful crispy white Hokas now,
Yep.
and I wear them all day, every day.
yep. There you go. Beck's got a pair as well. So,
Love
okay.
'em.
So health, we are much healthier.
Oh,
Heaps
absolutely.
healthier.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm going to park the health for a minute. It was 115 kilos down, which is just wild. I'm going to park that for a second. And the marquee size suit at the Christmas party a year ago and all
Yeah.
that jazz. I love that line. I'm going to steal that for sure. Let's talk about who you guys are as a family, because we had a mortgage just under $1 million. It was
950.
950. Okay.
Yep.
How many in the family?
5.
5. Okay. So
Yep.
mum and dad, 3 children,
3 boys. Yep.
3 boys. Okay. Varying what ages?
11, 7, and 4.
11, 7, and 4. Okay. So 11, 7, and 4. And actually, for people at home, where are you guys based?
Hunter Valley.
Hunter.
Newcastle, yep.
Beautiful part of the world.
Oh, the
Dude,
best.
the best Christmas lights every year, by the way, in the Hunter.
I know. We're only 10 minutes from there.
Oh, it's beautiful.
It is.
And some very good wineries. But anyway,
Yeah.
when we're not training.
And we're not on 75.
Yeah.
Not on
exactly.
75 baht.
Okay, so Hunter, 3 boys, busy household. What do you guys do for work?
So I work for, I'm in HR.
Yep.
Yep.
Cool. Brad?
And yeah, I'm in the rail industry.
Yep, rail. Okay. So HR and rail. So semi-physical, mental, different sort of jobs and industries.
Yes.
3 young boys, pretty busy in the Hunter. Nearly $1 million mortgage, 950,000. Did you have any credit cards, personal loans? What were you like financially? So physically, we're in a bit of pain, and we've obviously fixed that. But I just want to start with that because you just look amazing and tell how good you feel. But what were you like financially at that time?
Oh, we were pretty bad. We had personal loans and credit card, and we had a fair bit going on.
Yeah.
So what made you reach out? How did you find us and then go through that process as well?
Do you really want me to talk about that?
Sure.
It's mortifying.
Why?
Oh, you know why? No,
Why?
okay, because anyway. So Brendon, we were looking because we were on two different paths.
Yep.
Totally different. We started off with a $15,000 credit card.
Yep.
Just in case.
Yep.
It was at like...
In case you wanted to max it out.
And we did on 3 TVs and
Yep.
like... Because we'd moved into our new house and we just could. And we thought, oh, yeah, well, you know, we're on good incomes. We can. So before we knew it, we had $15,000 in credit card debt. And we had money everywhere. I had it in 1,000 different bank accounts. Not literally, but 50, at least 50 accounts.
Just for everyone at home, there was at least 50 accounts.
There was at least 50 accounts.
Yeah.
There was at least 50 accounts.
Like not even wrong-footed investor, like fucking fucked up footed, no-footed investor.
It was a clusterfuck.
Yeah, you had an acorn in there and an acorn
Literally,
in there.
I was a squirreler.
I literally, when we felt, it reminds me of is it Ice Age? You know the guy.
Oh yeah, and he's like
chasing the squirrel. The
scat.
whole movie, scat. Yeah, but there was like not one. There was like 50 you were hanging on to.
Literally.
Yeah.
But I was also juggling all of those acorns and dropping them.
Yeah,
like I was like not in control. Like it felt like I was, but I definitely wasn't. And then Brendon was the spender. So we knew we wanted different. We knew that we earned enough money to do better for our family. We knew we wanted to do better for our family, but we had no idea how. Okay. We knew we were drowning and we were not feeling good and whatever. So Brendon shared you on Facebook.
Yep.
I forgot that we signed up.
Yep.
But I got a reminder, your Zoom is about to start.
Yep.
So I was like, okay, cool, yep. So I was 2 hours out of surgery on anaesthetic, morphine, off probably with the fairies, with my acorns.
Off chops.
Off chops. And then an hour later, well, no, it didn't even take an hour. I was like, come on, get to your cell. I'm in.
Get to sign me up.
I literally, though, I had to pay money off the credit card.
Yeah. To use the credit card.
To use the credit card. And
so you went
I got a text saying
all the little acorns.
Literally.
Transferred all the bits of money.
Yep, I did. I paid off a bit of the credit card and then I rang him and he was busy with the kids. So I was like, you need to put in annual leave for the 28th of June.
Right.
And he's like, why? And I'm like, oh, we're just going to some masterclass. And I woke up the next day going, what have I done?
I've moved all my acorns. There's no acorns left.
There's
I've
no...
maxed out the credit card on this fuckwit on Facebook.
Yeah, literally. But you know what? Best thing I ever did.
Oh, stop it.
No, keep it going. No, but it is. Like, I would never have had... It was the perfect storm.
Right.
And I think that's also why our health journey is so important.
Yep.
Because everything was like... On the outside, we probably looked like the quintessential Australian dream.
Yep.
We were everything.
Yeah.
But we were paddling hard.
Yeah, like a duck on water. You know, the arm on top and the
we
like
were.
Crazy.
And
were you both spenders?
Never.
I was, yeah.
Were you?
I wasn't.
Big time.
How bad? Like make it rain or?
Literally.
Yeah.
I do. He's like literally Oprah.
Oh really? Like,
oh yeah. Yeah, generous.
With other people?
With other people.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah.
Like we're all going out for dinner. I'm taking everyone. I'm doing this. I'm doing.
Yep.
Hey, do you guys want to come here? And people ring. I've just looked at the menu. Where you going? I'm like, no, it's on us. Come.
Yeah.
Fine.
He still struggles.
Yeah.
He absolutely still struggles. But yes, that was him. But we had totally different money stories.
Okay.
Everything was different.
Okay. Did you have a lack of money growing up?
Oh, yeah, we were comfortable. Oh, yeah, I suppose my parents battled through.
Yeah. Just because for me it comes from scarcity. So I'm a feeder and a giver and a
I mean, we got
have nothing. So I'm like, eat, overeat. Here, have drinks. You know, like because it's like I don't know. Growing up, like Beck still does it. We'll be in a restaurant and I'll pick up like the bread or the chicken, like, and she'll grab it and she'll be like, I'm not gonna steal your food. It's just you and me, and you've got a lot of money, and you can order whatever. And I'm like, yeah, like I still like don't chew my food. I nearly died on the weekend because I don't chew my food because I'm used to all of the grandkids being at Nan and Pops, it's like, fight for the piece of toast, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that was my weird upbringing that sort of, I think, instilled some sort of like, you got to eat as much as you can and help everyone and give it, you know, like, that was my weird thing that I still have to work through.
Yeah, and no, when we were comfortable, but yeah, it was just, I don't know, when I got money, like I started in good jobs young, and just used to spend it, and make everyone happy.
Okay.
Whereas and like you grew up with mum and dad at home, siblings.
Yeah.
And they just had that, I suppose, a bit security.
Yep.
Whereas my mum is the best mum in the world. She's the best nan in the world.
Right.
But she worked full time in retail, single mum majority of my life, but made sure every year we got a holiday. She made sure that she always had a roof over our heads.
Yep.
Always had food on the table. She would do anything she had to.
Worked her guts out.
Absolutely worked her guts out. She bought her first home at 40.
Wow. Single mum?
Single mum. Bought her first home at 40 after stage 3 breast cancer.
Wow.
Yep. When I was 15.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And she would go to chemo, then work for a week, then have to have about 4 days off because she'd be so sick.
So,
then she'd go back to work.
Wow.
Yep.
So if anyone's listening at home and they've got excuses, you fucking probably don't have any decent excuses, to be honest.
You really don't.
There you go. Okay. Well, good on mum.
Yeah.
Okay, so big mortgage, 950 grand, credit card just in case, maxed it out, fucking Acorn screw it away across 50 accounts, Oprah over here making it rain. All right, I've got a bit of context here. And you mentioned earlier at the start when we were talking about health, you were spending like $900, $1,000 a week on just shit, like junk food.
Easily.
Stop at the servo, get a chocky milk or a monster, like just shit.
And that was on the way to work and the way home.
Yeah.
And then probably take away majority of shifts.
Okay.
And working around the clock, you'd eat sometimes twice or.
And that's really common, right? Like most people get up in the morning, they're tired.
Yeah.
And it's funny. We get up in the morning and we're tired because we don't have enough time, but it's because we're actually lazy.
Yeah.
And you guys know this yourself doing 75 hard, right? You get up in the morning, so you don't make breakfast. You just get out the door.
Yeah.
And then you go, I'll just stop at the servo. Yeah. I'll get a bacon egg muffin at Macca's.
That still takes you 10 minutes.
I know, right? But this is the human psychology in Australia. We'll stop at the servo and get a fucking chocky move and a meat pie, traveller pie. And I used to do this half of my driving around from client to client every day. That's how I got really big, right? I was on the road 7 days a week, 24/7. I used to drive from Port Macquarie to Coffs Harbour and back every day when we started this company.
Yeah.
Every day.
There's a fair few servos between there too.
I used to stop at Kempsey, but also Southwest Rocks. There's a great, what do you call it, like a truck stop there. Oh, the food was red hot. A baked dinner on the way home. But Beck would pack me food as well. I'd eat that while I was driving. Yeah. And then I'd stop as well. So, but it's funny, like, I don't have enough time. But then you detour 10 minutes, you go through drive-through or servo, you get this shit. There's $20-$30.
Yep.
Literally.
You go, it's just a Monster or a Red Bull and a pie or a there's $10-$15 these days.
Yeah.
It's wild.
And you're also spending your time. That's something that's huge that we learned. Yep. So one of the questions I know we got at REM last week, because it was our first REM, which was super on stage, was super exciting. One of those was, how do you sacrifice for your food, fuel, and fun? I don't.
I know.
Because their sentence was, because I go to Woolworths and Coles and Aldi like every day, and I was like,
every day.
So you spend
not
us. I was like, wait, I have to answer this. I'm so sorry. You do realize you're sacrificing your time with your kids or your family or your
work or
work. Yeah. Do an hour's overtime instead of going and spending the $30, go and earn $30.
That's how fucked up we are. Now, you know, welcome to my world. When people are like, oh, but I'm so busy, and I don't know if you remember Masterclass, I do this example where Beck rings and I'm like, she goes, hey babe, what do you want for dinner? I'm like, well, a marriage is basically two people just arguing over what they're going to eat forever until they die. Right? Yeah. And I go, let's get spag ball. She goes, all right. She goes 20 minutes out of her way to Coles. Right? And this is where the trolley is. Then she goes to park and some fuckwits left their trolley in the car park, which just enrages me. Everyone in our community, put your fucking trolley back. Right? And she has to get out of the car, put the trolley away, put 2 or 3 others away because she's good. Park the car. And she goes in, she gets a mocha chocolate latte on the way in, a California sushi roll, maybe a Snickers. Right? She goes in, you see these weirdos sniffing the apples, scratching their ass, picking their nose, touching the grapes, squeezing the banana. And everyone's like, oh, I've got to pick it myself. I'm like, I want my shit to come from a black site with somebody with gloves on, like click and collect or some shit. Because all these weirdos are in there sniffing shit and licking shit and touching shit and putting it back and don't wash their hands. And I'm like, and then you got to fucking get through the shops, and then you finally spend 20, 30 minutes getting it all, and then you get to the checkout and you go, fuck, because those bags they force us to buy that's better for the environment. I mean, when I grew up, we always had the bag, like Nan and Pop, and you'd use the bags again for school. And we don't have that now, right? These other bags, mate, I've got a garage full of bags now.
So do we.
We have to fucking buy them, right? But I never put them back in the car. So then, and if I did put them in the car,
that one.
right? If I did put them in the car, when I get out to move the fucking trolley and then move the, I forget to get them out of the boot. So then I go in, I put all the shit in the trolley, I get to the checkout, I fucked around for half an hour, bought this, done that, couple of impulse buys, and then you're like, fuck, now I've got to buy more bags. Yeah. Because I never brought the bags in. Fucking this bag scam. Then you go back to the thing, you come out, some asshole's dinged your car with the trolley. Fuck. Anyway, Beck starts driving, she rings me again, she's like, bloop, bloop. Yeah, I'm leaving now. She goes, I forgot the fucking pasta sauce. Yeah. And I'm like, fuck. All right.
Starts again.
I'll go to Woolies, and off goes me. Takes a detour, fucking trolley. Fucking, I'm a bit hungry now. Maybe some nugs or cheeseburger, a drive-through on the way because it's now like 7:45 and I'm on the way home. And I go through and I'm like, fuck this. And I go get the pasta. Then I grab some other weird shit because you do. I'll get something for tomorrow night that I'll never cook. And then I ring Beck on the way home and it's like, babe, it's 8:45, it's 8:30. She's like, yeah, fuck it. Let's just get some Thai green curry chicken and a bottle of Sauvignon Blanc. Yeah. And everyone pisses themselves laughing.
It's true.
It's true, right?
It's absolutely true.
And then all of that, the capsicum, the onion, the mushrooms, the mince goes in the freezer and becomes a brick, and 3 months later you throw it out because it's just a fucking brick that's frosted over. All the shit goes pear-shaped in the fucking crisper. All, you know, like, you just don't use it. Like, it's gone.
It's waste.
Yeah.
It's literally waste.
And you buy this other shit, and then you don't take the leftovers, and it's just, we're fucked up.
Oh, yeah.
And I think, like, we're all so busy being, if everyone, like, I've recently taken socials off my personal phone. Yep. It's on my work phone now. Because I doom scroll and I respond to so many and all that. And now I'm like, fuck it. Hey, here's my free information. Go do it. And if you like it, have a money back guarantee, come and do our event. Yeah. We've done some stats recently, and you know how I used to pride myself on answering thousands of people each month? Yes. None of the people you answer come and do the event. Yeah, right. We've done some stats on it. So like 3 in 100 of people that I spend 30 minutes helping and nurturing and giving free information to, 3 in 100 come and work with us. So they're assholes. So I'm like, fuck it. Here's all our free resources. Yeah. The best clients are the ones that go, I need help. The process is this. I tell them that. They watch the free education. They love what they see. Yep. They come and spend time and energy with us. Yeah.
It's the best thing you can do.
Yeah, so now I'm like, fucking fuck them all. You know, like I'm here to help, but you've got to follow the process. So
you do have to follow the process, because also when you can't follow the process because you have been, you're supported. Yeah. You've got the grounding. You've got the pathway forward, so you can...
you nailed that there. We actually all have heaps of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When we're not doom scrolling, when we're not shopping daily, and then one of us goes and we forgot this and the other one, I use that example as a laugh, right? But now, you guys, I'm assuming meal prep?
Oh, yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We actually bought a freezer purely just for meal prep.
Yep. So we've
got weeks probably now ahead of ourselves.
So we spent $400 on a stand-up freezer.
Yep. So
that we could meal prep. So now when he leaves to go to work, he pulls out a container with a meal prepped meal.
Right. Yep. Done.
And
then that 10 minutes the night before to get everything ready to go to work. I just walk out, go to the fridge, out the door.
Done.
Yep. And I make...
Don't buy food anymore.
Yeah. And I make like your bolognese and that sort of thing, for example.
Yep.
I make the sauce.
Yep.
Because then I can actually turn that into tacos.
Yep.
I can turn that into bolognese. I can make it lasagna. I can make it...
Savoury mince.
Anything.
Whatever.
So the sauce is made, and I say to the kids, bolognese tonight, or they'll go, no, we want tacos.
Yep.
So I just make the tacos out of it.
So how, because here's the thing, right? I love this dialogue. Everyone listening in at home's like, oh, fuck that, I work so hard and I'm so busy and fucking whatever. When you've now started meal prepping, shopping with a structured plan, knowing what you're going to do, you've lost 126 combined kilos, 115 combined kilos in 2 years and a year. Like, absolutely.
That's not including the weight that our son's lost either.
Okay, we'll come back to that in a second because that's pretty inspirational. How much time have you bought? Because people say the one thing you can't buy is time. How much time do you think you guys have bought back into your life? Is it 10 minutes a day? Half an hour a day?
I actually feel like I get more time in the day.
2 hours a day?
I'm up every morning now. Like, we have to tag team every morning with the kids and stuff. So Ab's normally walking by 4 and I'm normally out by 5.
Right. So you're up first, 4 o'clock exercise.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then you're coming back. You start to take over. You'll sort the kids and swap over exercise. So it can be done.
Oh, 100%.
Oh, absolutely.
You just got to find that time. Like we have more time in our day now. It's,
And we have more time for each other.
Yeah, we
so
do.
It was a constant battle as well because Brendon would be like, oh, I didn't get to it. I didn't have time.
Yeah.
I'd be like, you got the same 24 hours in your day as I had in mine.
Yep.
But I just found excuses.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
you can find excuses or you can find results.
Yep. Absolutely. And so many people, you're right, like so many people now go, oh, I don't know how you do it. But even to this day, they
you
say.
know what the first bit would be? We'll have a crack and find out.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, you had a crack, 3 days, you fucking failed.
Yeah.
Next day, you got up and did it again.
Yep.
That's it.
100%.
It feels good, do it. If it hurts, try again.
Try again. That's it. And that took a lot of time. That took a lot to come to terms with, too.
Let's jump then, because you mentioned the kids and weight loss.
Yeah.
So let's jump to family for a second, because we're going to get through all this, because just to give everyone context, the mortgage was about $950 2 years ago, a year and a half ago. What's the balance today?
715-ish, if I
so
say 716.
So 230, 240 grand gone in a year and a half.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll come back to that because most of our followers are money followers, right?
Yeah.
But let's talk about family for a second. Talk about the kids then. So you've gone on a health journey.
Yes.
Really a lifestyle. And so I would say a lifestyle. Hey, we want more time together. We want our time to be valuable. We want to feel healthier. You actually enjoy yourselves now. I know when I was bigger, I would never go anywhere. I've had international holidays and not left the hotel because I couldn't walk. I was too sweaty. It was boring because I was uncomfortable. I don't go out for dinners with people because I'd be hot. Like, your whole life's miserable.
Everything was an effort.
Yeah.
Everything was literally an effort. And, so we're just pretty much just changed everything and prioritized spending on things that benefit our lives.
Okay.
So, it sounds strange, but two of our sons have a personal trainer.
Okay.
That they go to every single week.
Yeah.
And
once a week, twice a week?
Once a week.
Yeah.
Because they also do soccer now, which is something that they both struggled with fitness-wise previously. So they have a health condition that causes severe inflammation.
Yep.
And now the eldest is doing box jumps.
You said that last night. How big?
So he did 45 and then 60.
Wow. Okay.
Yep.
At how old?
11.
11, yeah.
Now, people might think, oh, that's easy, take that for granted. But when you've got a medical condition and you've not been previously able to function and move and walk.
This kid was in a pram at 5 still to go, or sitting in a trolley still. So, they're on injections for rheumatoid arthritis injections.
Yep.
They are the most inspirational, and they if they can do it, I can do it.
Yeah, they push us a lot.
So, you mentioned weight loss for one of the sons as well.
Yes, he's 9 kilos down. So he was almost 80 kilos, and he's now 67.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So.
And he's 11.
Did that change after watching mum and dad change?
Oh yeah, because he started cooking.
Started cooking?
He started cooking, and he loves it.
Really?
Yeah, he still prides himself. I still make the best tacos, Mum, he says. But they're healthy.
That's funny because I was talking to Casey and Lenny the other day, and one of their older children, not older, but their children wants to be a chef. Yep. She's a nutritionist, right? And he's a PT. Yes. And now one of the kids is involved in cooking.
Yeah.
And loves cooking for the family, which, I mean, we all need to learn how to cook. It's not a men thing. We all need to know how to fucking feed ourselves right properly.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
It is really cool because they had, like, maybe started that in their early life, but was doing everything for them. I wasn't, and I was just, they would turn up at the table and they would have food, and it would be the food that I gave them. So also there's no excuse on me not to give them healthy, good, nourishing food. That was my education. I had to do that for them because I want them to be healthy and happy, and I want to lead by example.
Okay.
It was good. Like we were walking every day, and Zave would say, "Oh, can I come?" I'm like, "Yeah, for sure."
Yeah.
Like it would slow me down, but it was great to see that he was more than happy to jump on board, and he'd last the distance too. Like we did.
Do you think there's a lot to be said for monkey see, monkey do? Your children
100%.
won't do what you say, but they will do what they see.
They will do what you do. For sure.
Absolutely, they will do what they do.
Yep,
do what you do.
Okay.
They will lead.
You say, go pick up your clothes, clean your room, nag. But whatever you're doing, they tend to want to do what mum and dad do.
Yeah.
Or eat what
big time.
Eat what you
and
eat, do what you do.
And they truly want the best for their family as well. And that's something that, sitting down and listening to them, well, what do you want to eat for the next week? What are we going to put in there? Because then they're part of the choice. We're not just saying sit down, eat it, and not giving them, any choice in the food. So they're choosing healthy food.
Yeah.
They've gone from having, those packets of chips and whatever in their lunchbox to Zave has like roast chicken, lettuce, and mayonnaise wraps to go to school.
Yep.
And
happy with that.
Like I think Casey even posted the other day about ham and the processed food and all the calories and whatever is in it.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah. And it does.
And what kid doesn't love a bit of barbecue chook or chicken?
Literally, I know, right? Yeah, and they love it.
Yeah.
That's they've made so many changes and they've made sacrifice. What they thought was, but it hasn't been because they've gained so much more.
And now they're doing sport. You said soccer.
Yep. So Dave's goalie.
Okay.
So he's very much loves that, and then Harvey is into soccer as well. So they're playing sport, but these are kids that originally had pain or needed, I would spend hours, rubbing them, going to hospital. I think in Harvey's first season of soccer it was ECGs every other day, just from inflammation.
And do you think the sport is helping or hurting?
Helping.
So there's less issues. So it's almost not overcoming the conditions, but it's helping a lot.
Yeah, and I think though you couldn't do one without the other. And that's a big lesson, I think, for us with the financials and the health and that as well. We could not have got our money on track if we didn't get our health on track. Right. And we could not have got our health on track if we didn't get our money on track. And they're similar. If they're not getting their the right food, the right energy, the right everything, if I'm giving them food that causes inflammation, of course I'm going to cause them pain while they're playing soccer. So I make sure that they have, low inflammation foods and diets and whatever else as much as I can. Because they're kids. They're obsessed with cereal, as we were talking about last night, and $12 a box of cereal is ridiculous and it's garbage. But they love it. But it's it means that they're moving better. And
it's pretty powerful to watch.
It is.
Yeah, big deal.
Absolutely it is. This is a kid, particularly the eldest, this is a kid I used to have to carry to the bath. And just sit him in a hot bath or whatever and just help with the pain as much as I could.
So this has been a big shift since, did you say June 23?
June 23.
Okay, so we're only really a year and a half in. It's pretty powerful, the whole family. So let's talk about the monetary side. So about a $950 mortgage. You guys paid down to about 7 something at the moment?
Yeah, early 716 I think we're at.
So there's 230 odd grand gone off your mortgage in 18 months?
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow. No credit card debt?
None. Gone.
Still use a credit card?
Nope, gone.
Okay, see ya.
See ya.
And any investments?
Yeah, we've got 2 properties.
Okay, couple of investment properties.
2, yep. And hopefully maybe 1 or 2 more this year.
Yeah, well, things are changing at work, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yes.
So next month?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yep, next
so when
month
I
for
get
me.
back from overseas and we have the next REM,
Yes.
which you guys will have to come to,
Mm-hmm.
but you'll have to come and share, but you'll also have to come as a client because we can fit another 2 investment properties in.
Yes.
So that'll take you to 4.
Yes.
So
Within 2 years.
Within 2 years, you'll have paid by then probably 250 to 260 off the home loan easily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
250, 260 easily, maybe more, 270, 280. Plus get 4 investment properties all within 24 months.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy actually when you say it.
When you say it like that, that's wild. Especially, obviously, because we know with our personal circumstances it could have been more.
Mm.
But because we were set up so quickly in that 12 months, we were able to do things for our son and our. So we could have also been probably there already.
Yep.
But to have the support of you guys, Glenn, Dean, to go, oh yeah, we need to pause.
Yeah,
that's okay, and do this. To hear you then say that back, we're like, whoa, that little deviation was nothing. It was a blip.
Well, that's life, right?
It is.
People tend to follow us for a while, and some people follow us for years before they're like, hey, can you help? I'm like, yeah, watch this. I built this so I don't have to have 65,000 conversations. Just watch this 45-minute video. You know what I mean? Like, it's the same conversation, the same thing I'm going to teach everybody.
Yep.
And I loved on the weekend because people in the chat, they're like, I'm like, oh, how did you find me? Blah, blah, blah. And what have you done so far? They're like, I've saved look at the video. The chat was like, I saved $80,000 in the last 6 months just from watching your free webinar before I paid you. I saved $30,000. I said, like, it's so powerful to know that that's out there for people.
Yeah.
If they actually fucking pay attention.
Yeah. And they do
have
it.
a crack. And do it, yeah.
And do it.
Which probably brings me to how important is it to have a Dean and a Glenn and a Graham and like the team? How important is that instead of you got your loan, you go buy your beautiful home in the Hunter, the wanker banker, or you spoke to a bro, and then it's like, oh yeah, here's a Christmas card, or
we got that.
You didn't get a Christmas card with a scratchy or anything?
Never.
Bank or broker?
One of our brokers actually asked us not to refinance or leave our bank because they would get a clawback.
Oh. So they put you into something that helped you do what you needed to do.
Yep.
But then it wasn't deemed the most appropriate solution for you, so you did change it, but they didn't come to you with the solution to fix it or change it.
No.
They just sat back and did nothing in that period.
Yeah, they said,
they were more concerned about.
They literally the text said, if you can just wait till like the 21st of August, I won't get a clawback.
Right.
I didn't even know what a clawback was.
Yeah. If a broker writes a loan for you, the bank will remunerate an upfront commission and a small commission, $20-$30 each month, whatever, depending on the loan size, trail commission, and that's deferred up front. So you get a commission to write the loan of thousands of dollars for placing the loan. The bank needs to then take time to make a profit on that.
Yep.
So if that's not done properly and you need to go and fix that within the first 2 years, the bank hasn't had time to make profit after it pays the commission. So you wake up in the morning as a broker, and if you've moved in 2 years, commission just comes back out of the bank account, 100% of it. They've worked for free.
Yeah, and
which is really sad, but I identified that in 2012 and went, do you know what we're going to do? We're going to give our clients a Glenn bot who's going to be your relationship manager and financial coach and hold your hand. And if there's something better, I don't give a fuck if the bank takes the commission back off me because I'm going to go put you into something else and get a new commission, which should be my obligation.
Well, that's it. Look at that now. We're now that if this broker had done what you had done,
you would have done new business with them and they would have earned more
money.
And 2 investment properties and now 4. So instead of writing one loan and waving you goodbye and being completely fucking non-existent in your life, service-wise, they could have written 4 investment property loans and a home loan, 5 times the amount of revenue.
And also for our family.
Yeah.
Because we would have recommended them.
Correct.
All for the sake of 6 extra weeks.
And I wonder why my industry's broken.
Yeah, but but they are important to, like, Glenn and Dean are important, but it's also what's really important to understand. It's what we also put in. Mm-hmm. So yes, it's amazing that they look after us and they're there for our questions and that they're there to support us.
Yeah, they've got your back all the time.
They've got your back all the time.
But you got to do the work.
But we have to do the work.
I can write any strategy in the world for you and go, 1 and 1 equals 2.
Yeah.
And you go, okay, cool. But if you don't do what's required, it's fucking irrelevant.
Exactly.
It's like joining the gym in New Year's. Everyone joins the gym, right? They're like, yay! I went to the gym once. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I still eat KFC every day. That's fucking
And you're stuck on a 2-year contract.
Yeah,
Joining
the gym does not guarantee results.
No.
You got to turn
Getting
up.
or paying for advice does not guarantee a result. You have to execute on it. We can't force you to eat well, spend well, play. Like, we can't force you.
That's right.
No.
We can only guide you.
That's right.
You got to do the work.
Yeah, and we have to book in time with them. If we want time with them, we book in time. I book in my hairdresser. I book in whatever. If I want to, then I book in time.
Your hairdresser typically isn't going to chase you and go,
No.
hey, Abs, I'm really desperate for some money. Can you book in for a fucking cut and colour?
Yeah, that's
know
exactly.
what I mean? It's
Yeah,
like-
literally. But I'm still paying for the service.
Yeah.
So if I'm paying for a service, why aren't I taking the use out of it?
Correct.
So I do see sometimes people going, I've got a new relationship manager or whatever. And it's like their world's ending. And I'm like, it's what you put into it. Because actually...
That's why we fire a lot of clients these days. It's like,
yeah.
hey, 3 months, you haven't booked a meeting. We're not going to chase you. We've sent you... And I can see the correspondence, voicemails, texts, emails. And it's like, motherfucker, it's been 3 months. You've not stuck to your budget once. I know you're going to whinge in a couple of months because you've blown all your fucking money.
Yeah.
You've not booked a consultation to get any help with it. I don't chase, I replace. See ya.
Go on.
Money magician or money mentor, you know what I mean? So it's like, you have to do the work.
You have to.
Here's
it's
the
not
math.
handed to you on a plate.
This math is multi-award winning, handed to you on a platter. Here's the products. Here's the structure. You agree? Great, off we go. If you don't do it, you're fucked.
Literally. You're just doing you've done.
You've been an asshole.
You've been an asshole and you are donating money to something that you had no intention of committing to.
Yeah. And to the bank's interest.
Yep.
Just keep paying maximum bank profits.
Yep.
Okay. Now, moving forward, so we've knocked off 230 odd grand, credit cards are gone, 2 investment properties, family's healthier, wealthier. We're going to add another couple of investment properties, so we'll definitely do a part 2 to this because we're going to add some more investment properties. So we're going to talk about the debt reduction a bit more and some more properties in the next couple of months.
Mm-hmm.
But where do you each or jointly see yourselves in the next 12 months, 24 months, 5, 10 years? Where do you see yourselves?
Look, I was always happy just to be debt free.
Okay.
And for me, that would have been a win. But now I see like we can create generational wealth.
Well, we're also clearing sort of, what are we, 18 months in, 230 grand. We're clearing at least 100 and something grand a year, right?
Mm.
So really that 700 odd that's left, that can fuck off in 5 to 7 years.
And that's right. And something you said was at the Ramo was, and instead of like helping your kids buy them a house, and that's now that's more for me. That's what I want to do.
Okay. People like, I've got all these kids' savings accounts and I've got all this bullshit. I'm like, what if your sole focus was to help yourself so that you had no debt when your kids were 10 or 12?
Yeah.
To then educate them, cover sport, cover medical, invest for them properly instead of squirreling away a fucking extra acorn a month that you then need to get back later when car rego or tyres or what. Like, generally, that's what humans do. We're like, we'll squirrel it away here and we're saving for our children while we're fucking broke.
Mm.
Yeah.
But the kids have got 3 grand in a bank account.
Yeah.
Well, you could put that over here and not pay 6% on it.
Yes, literally.
We literally hurt ourselves trying to help ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you have so many bank accounts and you change for just different deals that you forget that you've left money in bank accounts.
Mm. You said something really cool there, Brendon. You said generational wealth now.
Yeah. That's the big goal.
That's a big driver.
And it's not necessarily for our next generation because I know we've messaged like the grandkid, like for grandkids if we have grandkids.
Yeah.
So I also see it as generational knowledge.
Yep.
So even if I can break 50% of whatever the poor education, whatever it is, and I can break 50% of it and pass it down to my kids, and then they can do it to theirs. It's not about just creating wealth for me and them.
Yep.
It's our grandkids.
Yep.
It's future generations.
That's why I'm like Uncle G or Great Grandpa G or Poppy. He broke the cycle.
Yeah,
like the
absolutely.
buck stopped with him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's legacy.
Yeah. You because when you start, and I think probably you're a little bit similar. You go through life and you got a single mum who's a bit of a battler, and they're.
Well, I identify as a houso, right?
Yeah.
But my children will not identify as a houso.
Yeah.
It stopped. I broke that.
Yeah. Yep. And you would have had a fork in the road where you could have succumbed to people's expectations of you. And same.
Yeah.
And do you know what? They'll probably come at me, those people, whatever. The thing is, I've made the conscious decision to create change for me and my family.
And look, anyone that comes at anyone, you'll never meet a hater doing better than you. It's like the song Brick by Brick. Throw a brick at me. I got good gloves. I don't even need gloves. I'll catch that fucking brick and I'll stack it in the warehouse. Throw 10. Throw 20. The more you throw, I'll stack them.
Yeah.
And then in a couple of years' time, I'll turn around and build a fucking empire with free bricks that other people threw at me.
Yeah.
Thank you. Keep them coming.
I love that.
So it's one of those things that hurt people. And when you change for the better, people get the shits and they want to pull you back to their level because they're so fucking miserable. And you watch people completely change themselves, their dialogues, their narratives, they succeed financially or health or whatever it is, or they get a career improvement or a promotion, or they do more with their family. And most people around them, even close friends and family, get the shits. They're like,
they do.
You've changed. And I'm like, and you fucking haven't.
Yeah, absolutely. They do.
You're growing or dying. You're not going to plant roots like a tree. Like, are you going to be 1% better each day, or are you going to decline and die?
Yeah. It's so funny you say that 1% each day, because that's how I got Dave really inspired. He's like, Mum, it's just so hard. I said, but Dylan, if you do 1% every day, because he's a maths, you love your maths, guys. Okay. He loves maths.
That compound effect.
The compound effect. Yeah. I said, if you do 1% every day, how many days will it take you to get to 100%? Yeah. And he said, well, 100, Mum, you can't get more than 100. I was like, exactly, which is how many months? Yeah. And he's like, okay. So, and then that's when like the morning walk started, and he loves steak, and but he'll look at it now and go, oh, that's 2 tomahawks I can get at home just from the butcher, and we can cook it at home. Right. He's just those little shifts as well. Yeah. And then that's the generational thing.
Yep. You can take money off someone. You can take a car, a house, someone's clothes, but you can't take knowledge off somebody.
Nope.
No.
You can't take that. You can strip people say, oh, what would you do if you lost it all today? I said, I'd fucking crush it very quickly, heaps quicker than I did before.
Yeah.
I said it's something that I wish I knew in 2012 what Beck and I did when we started, because we started this business because of our own my circumstances, not hers, post-divorce. I wish I did that at 20, because it wouldn't have been 2012, 30 years old, 29, 30 when we met, to 42. What I've done in 12 years, people go, holy fuck, you did all that in 12 years from upside down. If I started that at 20, I reckon 27, I would have been done.
Yeah.
Not 32.
Yeah, and that's what I think. Like,
that's that compound effect.
Yeah. And so we're the same. We had that education, like through schools, or and our parents, what they were taught.
Yeah.
Yeah. If we
because we're our money story, right? And it's the same as how we started. We are our money story. We saw, spending on different things. So you spend on different things, but you have to make the choice to break the cycle. So our goals originally started as like 1 property a year for the next 11 years. Okay. Wanted to retire like in our 40s, we'll probably around the 50s. I probably want to keep working, but as a shift worker, I don't really want him to keep shift working.
Yeah, it's not normal.
It's not normal. You can never get used to it, and it's exhausting. So that was the goal. But that's changed because another thing that we've done is incorporated family planning. So, I was going to an employer and doing strategic planning to make sure that I was meeting outcomes and that I was creating an environment that was amazing for them. Yeah. Why was I not doing that at home?
Correct. It's like people get in the car to go to work and you have a route, and if there's an accident on the motorway or a traffic delay, or you have a second route. But then when you get to work to generate the money, you have no plan for what you're going to do with the money. You just tap. Yeah. That makes fucking 0 sense to me.
Yeah.
Like 0 cents.
Yeah.
And people think budget's a dirty word. It's a plan. It's a financial plan. Literally. I generate X, I have to pay Y, and the leftover I can do whatever the fuck I want with. Be smart or be stupid with it.
Yep.
But this whole thought process of I know how to get to work, to earn money, I just don't have any plan for the money once I earn it. It's fucking the definition of stupidity.
It is.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And
This younger generation, it's so expensive. Yes, it's tough.
Yeah.
But have you considered living with your parents, living with friends, like renting a room, don't have the new iPhone every 12 months. For sure as shit, don't wear Gucci shoes with bees on them. Your feet can't fucking fly. The matching belt, like this generation is fucked.
Yeah.
And then they whinge, and it's like, I see someone dressed sometimes. I know brands. I like nice shit, and I can afford it now, right? I've seen people in $5,000-$10,000 outfits, shoes, belts, watches, glasses, handbags, and I'm like, and I go talk to them now. I'm like, hey, do you mind if I ask a question? I mean, I also want to start walking around the streets like these fucking social media people. Like, hey, just curious, do you rent or buy? Cool. Do you mind if I ask you, what's your outfit worth today?
Yeah.
And it's like you can get a home now with a 2% deposit as a single parent or 5% as a first home buyer. Yet some people will wear a 2% deposit.
Literally.
Yeah, that's right. And we think we're in a financial crisis. We're definitely not.
No.
Well, not if we haven't made changes.
Now,
and that's the thing. There's that disclaimer that there's.
Well, there is, and disclaimer: there are genuinely people out there suffering right now because they've lost their job or sickness or illness or whatever.
Yep.
There's always somebody doing it tough for a period of time.
Well,
it's up to them to pull themselves out of that through health and wealth and job and study, etc. But there are people doing it really tough. But I've been doing this for 25 years, and with the exclusion of accidents and sickness, I even know for myself, everything that went wrong in my life is a reflection of me. If I lost my job, or I was the person made redundant, or I had a problem with somebody, it's all a reflection of me. And until we own our shit, we'll never get past it.
No.
There are people doing it tough, but it's a temporary measure, bar accident and illness. Outside of that, you lose your job, you get another fucking job.
Yeah.
You know, when we have health issues, we work towards, I remember when I nearly lost my arm. So and that happened, and I was in the flying doctor thing, and they were flying me for emergency surgery, and I'll never forget this, and I've got to share it. I've flown from like Proserpine or Mackay, I think it was, and then we flew somewhere and landed before they got me to Brisbane, and we were waiting on the tarmac for ages, and I was in agony because all of my scapula was shattered and nerve damage, all this stuff, and the gentleman that we were waiting for had an ambulance transport or some sort of transport to the plane, and then he was being flown to Brisbane for cancer treatment. And you know what we were waiting on the tarmac for? He punched 4 durries before he got on the plane to go for cancer treatment in Brisbane.
Yeah.
Stunk like cigarettes next to me. And the guy's saying hello, and he's saying, the nurse said to him, I'm so sorry, man, there's a doctor in there with you because he's giving pain relief and that because it's painful. And I just, tears in my eyes, I was in agony, and I just remember thinking, this motherfucker. And when we landed, and they take him off, and they took me off in an ambulance, and the man's like, I'm so sorry, mate. And I actually said to him, I remember going, we're waiting for that guy to smoke cigarettes because he can't once he gets down here and they put him in for treatment.
Yeah.
Now I get, okay, you might have a terminal illness and you're passing away and you're dying, but would you not try to not make it worse?
Yeah, well, you would think.
And that's a lot of our health system.
It is.
You see people at the front of a hospital with the fucking IV and the pole out the front punching darts or vaping, and hey, each to their own, right? But we've got to own our shit. It's time that families in Australia just stepped up as you have and owned our shit and went, right, the buck starts and stops here. Yeah. We're going to eat better, or we're going to actually have a plan for our money, or we're going to stop being a fucking troll on social media, or we're gonna start spreading kindness. We're going to put our fucking trolley back at the shopping centre.
Yeah, and the tray in the food court. Do not leave your rubbish in the food court. Take your trolley back and
leaving your rubbish on the tow heap.
Stuff in the bin.
Teenagers, they're like, I'm keeping someone in a job. No, you're an arrogant little shit.
Just put it in the bin.
Exactly.
Oh my God. But it is a choice, and I think that's what I would encourage people to do, and that's where the community side of it comes in, because it is a choice.
Yep.
And whilst I do definitely have empathy, I've been there. Last year, finding out Nash, had a tumour on his spine was one of the hardest phone calls, the hardest anything I've ever had to take in all of my life.
At how old?
4.
4 years old.
Well, he was 3 at the time, but he's 4 now. But yeah, and you hear that, and you go, look, we found a tumor. I'm like, okay, so what's next?
What's it mean? Yeah.
What's it mean? It's the scariest word you can possibly hear. And whilst we're down the road now, where, you know, he's freaking awesome. Like he's a little weapon. He's a legend. He's my G, as he does. It's so cute. He's so cute. He loves it. But that, if we hadn't have made those choices to give up food addiction, because let's call it what it is. That's what it was. It was food addiction. It was medicating us being down and having poor psychological health and whatever else. And it was us, if we hadn't have faced up to that, we would never have been in the position to look after him, ever.
Do you think that or do you know that you're better equipped as parents based on being more financially stable, more physically healthy, stable, emotionally? Do you think you're just massively better equipped as humans now?
Definitely.
Literally just as people.
Yeah.
Like we're a team regardless. We're just a team. There's no, you know, there's like, oh, my wife, my husband, my this, my that.
Yeah, we're on the same page.
We don't even have that because you know what? We're just on the same team.
Yeah, you're teammates.
We're
in the boat
teammates
together, rowing in the same direction at the same pace.
We are teammates. So regardless of anything, it doesn't matter. Like the worst thing could come, but we will still do this together because we have the common goal.
Yeah.
And we face up to our
your own bullshit.
Just like food, we were spending so much.
Yeah. And an inanimate object has a hold over us.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So where to from here, do you think? Where do you want to be? You mentioned a property a year for 11 years. You mentioned, you know, now you heard the other week at Remy, like, no, we're going to fucking get ourselves in such a good position. We can buy homes for our boys. Like,
yeah, you inspire us a lot, and definitely fire our bellies, that's for sure.
Okay.
So, I don't know. I think we're ready to pivot again.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's what we've been talking about with Dean. And
I like a good pivot. I mean, I got more issues than Vogue, so I
I love a good pivot.
I like a little bit of chaos and a pivot and a brain fart.
We were gonna sell our dream home. We were gonna sell it last year. It was on the market. We unfortunately obviously got some news about Nashi and whatever, and we pivoted, and to have the support of the Infinity team was phenomenal.
Yep.
Sorry, Dean.
Yeah, sorry, Dean. Dean had they had a plan. They had a plan, and we were on, but we pivoted.
Yeah.
But to have their support now to pivot again and to launch now that we're ready again, it's it's so good. But to know where, I don't know. I don't think that there's no
limit.
There's no limit.
Okay.
I always thought there was going to be a limit.
Yep.
Already that's proven. Like I always had in my head, we only get one house.
Yeah.
We're going to get one, you know.
Get one house, then another one, and another one.
Yeah. Now that we're educated, I suppose. There's.
But it's also,
what is the limit?
But it's also not just the number of them.
Yep.
Either.
Yep.
Like you've educated us that. Yeah, we could go in there and we could buy, say, for example, two $600,000 houses and make X.
Or 1.2,
1.3, whatever, because the rent is more. Like the education, we always thought more is more.
Yeah.
But actually...
Quality, quantity. There's a balance between quality and quantity.
Yep.
So those people we see in the newspaper, I got 30, 50 properties and they're all slumlordy and... They don't repair them, or they don't maintain them, some of them, or they're all in regional bumfuck areas and they're fibro asbestos. It's like, that's cool, but that's quantity.
Yep.
What about quality? Because as a landlord, you've got a moral, ethical, commercial responsibility to provide a safe, comfortable dwelling for the tenant.
Yeah,
like you got to make sure it's a decent home.
And that's what we work really hard with. I touched on with Glenn. The support with property managers and stuff from Infinity as well, because that was so important to us. Coming from, obviously, my mum had rented the majority of my life until she was 40. I knew that I didn't want to be the slumlord. I wanted to look after our tenants, and we do. And it's also through the help of Infinity, because there's some times where I don't know what to do, where to go, whatever. And the aircon's fixed immediately. You know, there was a stone chip in the window from the tenant mowing, and they'd made a mistake, but they didn't have the cash flow to fix it. So we said, well, we'll fix it.
things happen.
Things happen.
Yeah.
It'll and you know what? And do you know what they actually went to the real estate and asked for how much the invoice was and paid extra.
Because you did the right thing.
Because and it was the quality. Like you get out what you put in. And
that's the good human being thing. Like put your trolley back. You guys did the right thing. Karma. At the time, the tenant did hey, I've stone chipped the window mowing the lawn. It's an accident. Yeah. But someone's got to pay for it. Yep. We can't afford it right now, but I'm telling the truth. Yep. But I don't know how they got there. It hailed. Sideways. Car went past. I don't know. They've done the right thing. If that's okay, thank you for being honest. You fixed it. You can afford to. They've now done the right thing. That's karma.
Absolutely.
Everyone listening, karma's a real thing.
Yep.
It is a real
And they've just signed their third lease with us.
They're not going anywhere unless they want to buy a home.
And we want to look after them.
Yeah, I love it. Any questions for me?
You go.
No, you go.
You go. You go.
Oh, I don't know. I suppose I always look at your industry and think, I just want to help people, right? And I suppose in my career, and I suppose I'm inspired to do something in that kind of line. But yeah, I suppose what's your advice for people who want to get into that industry?
Into real estate, finance, mortgages?
Both. Yeah.
But not just from a commercial point of view. He's very much into the changing, like fucking the banks. Changing the system or flipping it, the education.
In our business, I've developed a common enemy. Yes, we need banks, but they don't need to be as profitable as they are.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now, most brokers, and there's some amazing, people think I shit can them all. No, there's some fucking amazing brokers out there, right? And buyer's agents, they just wear socks. Okay? Yeah. I'm sorry, the ones who don't wear socks. I've got to pick on you. Everyone knows it's not fucking comfortable. It looks retarded. You think it looks cool, and you know you're slicing your feet up. It's not comfortable.
No.
But so there are some amazing brokers out there, but typically our industry, I don't like it. I think there's a lot wrong with it, and I think that's because if you sat all of us in a hall and made us do a higher level exam, most would fail. They're salespeople. They're not advisors. They're selling something and receiving a commission. I also think the industry's broken because the way we're remunerated, i.e. that upfront and a little bit of residual ongoing commission, our advice, I think, the advice of most people is completely skewed because I will tell you to sell a property and want to write a smaller loan because it saves you money. Everyone else in the industry, most will tell you to write a bigger loan. They want the bigger loan for both houses, not to sell one to pay your home off.
They've got a bias.
They've got a bias, right? Yeah. The advice is going to be dictated on how they earn money. And they say it's not, but it is. It's proven because mine is and I charge a fee. So I would say that wanting to really, truly help and impact people, to become a mortgage broker, to be honest, it's a certificate in financial services and mortgage broking, and it's a 3-day course. It's a pretty fucking low entry level bar, right? To then get a diploma, it's an extra 2 days. So it's 5 days to have a diploma. But then it's 6 months to submit your exams and assessments. So it's much more, but it's 3 days to 5 days out of your life. And then 6 months to submit your assessments and study. Most people would do the event and within a couple of weeks or month probably submit their stuff.
Yep.
And you're accredited mortgage broker that has to do a 2-year mentorship. i.e. someone comes and works for me, they sit under my mentorship for 2 years. They have a tricky client circumstance. I have to mentor them through that. Except sadly, people actually charge these new brokers to be their mentors.
Yeah.
Because it takes time and resources instead of doing it out of the goodness of their heart. I only mentor people that work for me. I could have a very big business instead of having this business where I just mentor other brokers for fees and be a broker coach. I get asked for it every day. Refused. A guy offered me $50,000 the other day to coach him. I'm like, no thanks, mate.
Wow.
All right. So there's a lot of money in the industry, which can skew things. But to be accredited, 3 days, entry level, do the assessments. You only go up to the diploma if you want to do higher level stuff later on. You can always add it on. I'll jump to real estate, same thing. 3 days, sales certificate to be a licensed real estate salesperson.
Yeah.
5 days, full corporate licensed real estate agent, open your own office.
Wow.
That's fucking scary.
It is very scary.
And at the moment, you can go do a buyer's agent's course and do your 3-day thing to get your ticket and then do some coaching off someone else who's very successful, mind you. There's plenty of them around. and you're now a buyer's agent, and you're charging clients $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 to go find them a property that's already on the fucking internet.
Yeah.
That's right.
Or maybe isn't yet on the internet, but it's going to be with the real. Now the real estate agents get paid. I'm not picking on buyers agents. There's some fucking guns out there that I refer people to, and I am one, right? But there is a lot of people in every industry, education, medical, transport, like everything, that are just fucking punters. You know, go to work, do the job, get a pay. They're not experts.
Yeah.
If I have a problem with my heart, I'm going to go to a heart specialist or cardiologist. I'm not going to go. I might go to the GP to help diagnose and go, but there's something wrong. Let's get you to an expert. And I think that's key. So I think, and especially if you look at a career change for yourself one day to truly help, and that's our business. Was like, we can sell a loan, or we can help you find a property, or we can send you the financial planner about your insurance and super and life or the account. But where is the ongoing advice? And our industry is notorious for not having a Christmas card, a birthday card, a party, a conversation each month. It's like, here's your loan, goodbye, and it's transactional.
Yep. And that's what inspires us, like with yourself. Like it's the education, and it's the light that you give people at the end of the tunnel, I suppose.
So I think if you ever change industries and look at something like that to really help, it's because you want to be transformational.
Yeah.
What we do.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're not interested in. I get more inquiries, leads. I'm like, leads? They're at a pet store.
Yeah.
They don't work with someone unless they pay for the fucking program, right?
Yeah.
It's a money back guarantee, which no one else can do because we're so good at what we do. If we can't help you, we just give the money back. We don't need the money.
Yeah.
But it's that versus learning to do something in any industry and being transactional versus transformational. And and also people listening, you can apply that to any industry.
Oh, absolutely.
I could be a delivery driver, pick something random. I can deliver something from point A to point B, and that's a transaction. Now, I could be a delivery driver that absolutely revolutionizes that process by contacting the recipient the day prior, confirming access, all these little, right? Then I could have a fucking ETA. Like, you know, like you're on your maps and you can share your ETA with someone.
Yeah.
You've been waiting for furniture to be delivered.
I see
and
trades
they say
do that now.
They say between 10 and 2.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, between 10 and 2. When you are coming, don't ring me 6 minutes from the driveway and say, are you home? Like, why don't you share your ETA with me, the prior job, before, you know, or like, just simple little things. People are so fucking lazy. Yeah.
And I think a lot of people are stuck in their ways. So, like, diversity of thought is definitely, like, it's a passion project of mine.
Yeah.
I was talking to Lou last night, actually, and he was telling me a really cool story about how, you know, he was working for a company that wanted him to sell a certain way.
Yeah.
But he wasn't meeting targets selling their way.
Yeah.
So then he was like, well, stuff it, I'm going to do it my way.
Yeah.
And then everyone started looking at him going, how have you sold so many? And go, because this is the way it's moving.
Yeah.
It's about creating, I think, the change.
It is.
And the diversity of thought.
Yeah. Well, you got to remember the old it's always been done this way.
Yeah.
Well, so you, like I said, you get in the truck and you just copy the other guy first day on the job and you copy them forever. And if they're not an expert or they don't give a fuck about the job or the customer, you monkey see, monkey do. Like our kids, like our wealth, like our health.
Yep.
This it relates to everything in life.
Yeah.
And I personally believe that the world has gone to shit post-COVID.
Yeah, it's
No one wants to work. You know, the new like laws and that, like everyone works 9 to 5, so they come in at 9:01, they leave at 4:59. And my grandfather would roll over in his grave right now because he used to say a hard day's work for a fair day's pay.
Yeah.
Now it's like, I want a fucking half day's work for an astronomical day's pay. Yeah, the world's changed. I mean, everyone's on only feet and only this. And, no one wants to bloody work anymore. If they did shut TikTok down, you'd see everyone in McDonald's dancing. Right?
Yeah.
But I think it's really important. But I think going down that path, I would say anything you consider, look to be transformational, not transactional. Because you're already doing something where you're transacting. And if you feel that way, if you're going to go study something and look to alter, you want to know that it can be in a transformational manner, diversity, all these things. Because if not, you're just going from one transactional career path to another transactional career path.
Yep.
So that would be I think the summary there. Anything else? What else are you thinking?
Oh, I did have a question.
Yeah.
So I wanted to know, I was interested. Apparently you've shared this before, but I haven't heard it.
Yeah.
I wanted to know, was Infinity born out of something you did, or like personally you and Beck did it?
Yep.
And that's how you knew that it worked?
Totally.
Or was it, I've got this idea that this might work, I'm going to test it on some people?
No, so it was a bit of both. So firstly, it was actually born out of our own circumstances. And when I say ours, I'm shithouse to penthouse. So my fucked up situation. Beck was Mickey Mouse. Married, divorced. No one's ever proud of any failed marriage. Married, divorced. There's about $248,000 of debt and 7 credit defaults. So those 7 credit defaults mean as they were trying to apply them, and there was a written off car that was in my name. It had a loan on it. She was drink drive, like all sorts of messed up shit, right? That were all coming at me because I worked, she didn't. Multiple jobs, never held down jobs for a long period of time. So everything was coming at me. I openly admit it. Fucking broke, right? So we had to get out of that. I had to negotiate, because if I had credit defaults really apply and stay there, or any of that issue, I can't hold a real estate license. I can't hold a credit license. My career, my livelihood's over, right? So my necessity, it was born of, how do we eradicate these debts? How do we negotiate these debts? Which ones are mine? Which one are the ex-spouse? All this sort of stuff. How do we work through that turmoil? So that's like almost credit repair stuff, right? So that was step 1. Step 2 was being able to pay it. So that's how it started. It started through absolute personal individual necessity. And then it also developed and formed from me being 18 years old, wanker banker, bank manager 21. I've got all the gear and no idea, you know what I mean? And Beck's background in a lot of rehabilitation personal training. So she had a friend whose, I think, sister had an accident and talk, really traumatic car accident. She was right into a lot of rehabilitational therapy and personal training out of school at a younger age, and obviously got 38 kilos off me when we met, so that helped. So it was a personal necessity, but then also as we were trying to get rid of that debt and pay it down as rapidly as possible with math and proven concepts. So it was almost like a self-test, and never been in that position before. To then also, well, now that we're getting rid of the debt and we're okay, how do we make some money?
Yeah.
How do we make some money and do some cool shit together? Which was buy a 1-bedroom off the plan apartment for $200,000.
Yeah.
And we had 18 grand squirreled away besides the $248,000 of debt.
Yeah.
So I was like, pay the debt, so that was a deposit. We needed another $2,000, bought a 1-bedroom unit, bought another one. But by the time they were finished, they were all worth $260, $270, $280, sold them all. And we bought a little half-side 3-bedroom duplex in Port Macquarie on the water. Yeah. And a place in and we just simple little transactions, a house in Tamworth and something in Brisbane and something in North, and we just chipped away at it. But while we were doing that, right at the beginning is getting out of the debt first, and then as we were starting to do the wealth, literally we had like friends and family, 30 people in 30 days on the floor, Nan and Pop's house in Port Macquarie. We were sort of living between down there with family for Beck, up here. And I always said that the Gold Coast was a sunny place for shady people to live. Let's get the fuck out of here. I don't like
Queensland
it.
for.
No, I live up here. I can't say it anymore. But so we moved to Port Macquarie, and friends, family initially wanted help. They're like, "Oh, how'd you do that?"
Yeah.
And so it actually wasn't necessarily intended to be a business, but we were in the background while we were doing it ourselves, modeling it. Like, hey, my banking background, this could be a business.
Yep.
So we were doing it. Break, test, measure, proof of concept, whilst designing it, and then friends and family were the first guinea pigs.
Yeah.
And then boom, it was born.
Exploded from there.
Yeah. Which is obviously how you sort of realised that it was transformational, not transactional.
Beck put the personal training. She's like, what do you mean you give someone a credit card and an offset account and you let them max out the credit card and pay it in full from the offset account? They didn't get ahead at all that month. They only paid the minimum. And this is how fucked up humans are. They're like, I know I clear my card in full every month and I've got an offset account. Yeah. You cleared your card in full with everything in the offset account. Now you're not offsetting shit.
Yeah.
At all. And you only paid the minimum on your loan.
Yep.
It's actually pretty fucking simple. But people think they're so smart because they've got a structure.
Yeah.
So Beck was like, well, when I've got 38 kilos off you, I text you. Make sure you take your lunch. What did you eat as a snack? Did you have the yogurt? Da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
Make sure you do your steps. All that sort of stuff. Like... So that personal trainer for your finances is what really defines Infinity from the rest.
Yeah.
And that's where we've blown up, because we ran at a loss to not just write a loan and sell you a loan. We actually put in teams of people to coach you and hold you accountable.
Yeah.
That's the key difference that no one else in Australia's nailed. and globally.
Well.
Oh yeah,
You know,
and also leaning on your community, I suppose. But
the community came from the results.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
From
like
that coaching and that, oh my God, we're losing money by not charging enough, but putting people first and profits last, and having this service offering.
Yeah,
we're getting results, and we knew that if we built those results and had the pain, that on the back end those people would stay in our ecosystem and come back and come back and come back.
Yeah.
So now, if we wanted to, we could turn off any content marketing, anything, and we'd be fine for 4 years, 3.9 to be precise. On the data. So I can not take a single client, and that's wild, and just turn it off, and just we're fine in our community for 3.9 years.
Yeah.
And what that also means, as you see with the business scaling, we've grown so rapidly, so quickly, because as we do want to help new people, because we're purpose driven, we're helping new people, but we've also got 4 years of existing clients that can keep transacting on things.
Yeah.
That's a big business.
It is.
That keeps me up at night.
I bet it does. I can only imagine.
It keeps me up
I
at
bet
night.
it does. No wonder you stay there, lay there like this.
Yeah, so born out of necessity,
Yep.
but then commercialized.
Yeah. Which I think is really powerful to hear, because I think that's very reflective in our story as well, because it was out of necessity. Because I didn't want him dying, and I wanted to walk.
Yep, and they all interrelate. They all lock in together.
They do.
You can have all the money in the world, but if you don't have your health, you're fucked.
Yep.
Literally.
But then I get people pick on my weight still because I'm fluctuating. And then it's like all the comments are trying. It's like, he's like, bro can count money, but he can't count calories. I'm like, cool, bro. Like, what's the point? That's like me commenting on him in the gym, going, bro's jacked, but I bet she's broke as fuck.
Yeah.
Who cares? Scroll on. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't mind. It doesn't affect me.
No impact on you. Why bother?
Yeah, it doesn't. I mean, and that's. I mean, at the end of the day, we can compare. I bet you I can get just as jacked as you in 6 months, but you can't get as wealthy as me in 6 months. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't.
You comment that.
I can get as jacked as somebody else. Like, I could go, right, I'm going into comp prep. I am going to comp prep, eat, train, lean machine. In 6 months, I could get fucking jacked. I've done it before, right?
Yeah.
I can easily do it. It's not easy, but I can do it, right? To prove a point, I'll take a bet with someone. I can do it. But you can't get as wealthy as me in 6 months.
No.
Health can be turned around. People go, oh, but you've been unhealthy for years. Health, or the aesthetics of, and this is the thing, the aesthetics of health can be turned around fairly quickly, visually.
Yeah. Well,
But wealth cannot be turned around that quickly.
No, wealth's a journey.
And wealth is a journey. And I think actually and once again, that's reflective in our journey too.
Well, you guys should be so bloody proud of the health, of the wealth, of what you're doing with the boys, of the journey. You should be so fucking proud, because I know Beck and I are. It warms us. Hence the messages, and when you don't really know each other back then, I'm like, hey, mate, I don't know if you're doing anything, but I'm experiencing this shit. And sure enough, you're like, I actually fucking am. That helps, you know, like, and that's the community thing. So, and we love that. We love that. So
it's definitely thanks to you and Beck and Glenn and Dean. Like,
you guys,
the team around us is huge, and it's good.
You guys did the work, and you still got to keep doing the work. All we can do is steer the ship. So well done. We're definitely going to do a round 2.
Yeah.
We're definitely going to do a round 3 and 4.
Okay.
Good.
We'll do that.
So,
I didn't cry in this one.
No, you've done well.
I did so good.
Well done, guys. It's been a pleasure to have you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks so much.